1. Well, hey there. Welcome back to Relentless Talk Radio. This is segment 2. This is the health and fitness segment. And I have Samantha Utupa. Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah.
And it's such a cool thing because Samantha's in Australia and I'm in Vermont, United States. So it's a pretty cool, this is our first international Relentless Talk Radio. And of course, it's happening under weird circumstances where I'm on my parents' laptop in an emergency situation. So Samantha, thanks for being so flexible and coming on Relentless Talk Radio. We've been trying to get this to happen for a couple months now. So I'm super excited that regardless of circumstances, we're making it happen. So welcome. So why don't you talk about who you are and what you do?
Awesome. Thank you. Wow. First international guest on your show. Super excited for that. And yeah, so awesome that we made it happen. So as Michelle said, I'm tuning in from the Gold Coast in Australia, in Queensland. I'm a mum of 3. I have 2 teenage girls, so loving that experience right now, challenge. I'm a dog mum. I'm a wife. I have an amazing husband who is always supporting me with my crazy entrepreneur ideas over the years. And I also love health. I love fitness. I actually love HIIT training, traveling, shopping, and really just feeling my best at 40.
Yeah, I love how you answered that question because you didn't say I'm a blah 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 and I sell such and such.
Okay.
Because I think that one of the things that I've been really focusing on this year is to actually say, when people ask me what I do, I tell them what my mission is as opposed to the tools that I use. Because I think there's so many of us today that are polypreneurs. We use lots of tools to get to the same place, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you've got to be human first. There's always a human before whatever it is that you do. And I think that people are going to just be attracted to the person that you are, and then we're going to want to find out a little bit more about what it is that you actually do or how you can help them, for sure.
I love it when people say to me, so Michelle, what is it that you really do? I love that question because I want them to ask that. I want them to be curious because then I can say, well, I'm more interested in what you have to say about what you're doing. And then once I know what they're doing, then I say, okay, here's how we relate, or here's what I do that relates to what you're doing. And we start a conversation about commonality as and a purpose and mission, as opposed to I'm a financial advisor like I used to be, and I sell investments. Right. I didn't even think that's really what I was when I was a financial advisor, because to me it was, what I was doing was helping you to prepare for going on vacation with your grandmother.
Yeah.
When you're, I wasn't investing for you. I was actually thinking about, what you're going to do with the money as opposed to the money. Right.
Yeah, of course.
So why do you do what you do?
So I'm also a social marketer aligned with a health and wellness company. And I also I'm the founder of the HandBag Mafia. So I guess why I got into business for myself, why I chose to be aligned with health and wellness, it started off about 10 years ago when I looked at my life, looked at what my family situation was. We were happy, had 3 young kids, but my husband was working in corporate. He had a great job, but we were struggling financially, living week to week. Like literally as soon as the paychecks came in, after all living expenses had been covered, we probably had about $10 left over to play with. That's it.
Right.
And I've always been a very ambitious person, but I've always wanted to be a mum first. And growing up, my parents worked full time, ran their own family business. And so mum wasn't around much because she was busy working, providing for us, which I'm totally grateful for because she taught me that work ethic. But what it also taught me was that I wanted to have more time with my kids while they were young. So I always try to do something on the side to be able to bring in some additional income. So I did party planning. I did appointment setting from home in the evening times, where I would literally lock myself away in the closet on the phone to make the calls away from my screaming kids. So you can imagine how that went down. And I even started up my own online business selling kids clothing, which didn't go too well as planned. I ended up with a ton of stock left over and it was in deficit. So all of that financial pressure, I was always trying to find a way to be able to have more choice and more freedom in my life. I deserved it. We all deserve it. And my kids did as well. But, honestly, Michelle, that financial pressure really took a toll on my health. My anxiety levels were through the roof. I wasn't sleeping properly at night because I was worrying how we were going to be able to pay off that maxed out credit card that we were going to put the next bill on. And it took its toll on my health. I was the heaviest that I'd been. I was emotionally eating. And so my business that I'm in now actually happened by accident. I saw some amazing transformations and saw how people's health had really transformed. And I was like, I need that too. I craved for more. Made the decision to jump on some, just transform my health, jump on an amazing system of health products, drop, 30 pounds. And just, I got me back. Every aspect of that pre-mum, I got back. And then when I saw an opportunity to be able to build an income from this and help impact other people's lives and help them transform their health, I was all in. So that's pretty much where it all started for me. And that was 6 years ago.
And, I love what you said. You said, I was ready to take my life back, and then my business happened by accident.
Yeah.
And I was just saying that in the episode before you, is that you have to go out there and live your life and try shit.
Yeah. I tried and found
you can't have like a roadmap that's completely figured out and actually find out what you're passionate about. Or, the person I was talking to over the weekend has been working a job for about 30 years. They cannot stand. And when I asked him what he was passionate about, he said, I don't know. Because he's so busy surviving the job that he hates that by the time he gets home, he just doesn't want to go out and look. I can go ahead and fill a bazillion reasons why that happens. And it happens to a lot of people. But if you don't go out there and try new things and make a decision, you're going to take your life back and really commit to yourself, you're never going to find what you're passionate about.
100%. That's why I mentioned at the beginning that I've got an amazing supportive husband that has supported me through every crazy entrepreneurial idea I've ever come up with until I found the thing. He was like, I knew you were going to find the thing.
Well, I've got one of those too. I have a partner who really believes in me, and he knows that whatever it is that I'm going to do, that eventually it's, I might have to bump along for a bit. It's going to be super successful. And he gets the toil that I put in, which I think is really smart. And your husband and you actually are in your business together to a certain degree at this point, right?
We are. We both have built this business together. Yeah. Yeah.
That's super awesome.
It has some pros and cons, let me tell you.
Well, having grown up in a family business and had a couple relationships that were tied to a business that we were co-working in, I absolutely know that being a husband and wife team is not for the, faint at heart. And if your marriage survives it means you really love each other for sure. And you're meant to be together. Yeah. So what would you say your biggest lesson is about being in business?
How long have you got? No, seriously.
Yeah, right? I mean, really, right?
Right. So to be quite honest, knowing what I know now, the number one thing that I would do if I had to do it all again is learning to say no more. Honestly, learning to say no more.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Mm-hmm. You can't be all things to everybody.
Nor would you want to be.
No, exactly. And it's knowing when to say no to people who are wasting your time, knowing to say no, or not knowing, but being okay with saying no to people who aren't productive, who you do a strategy session with and they go away and they do nothing, and being able to say no, come back to me once you've done, ABC. Also,
100%.
Right, saying no to people who they can go try and figure things out for themselves. So it's about setting those boundaries and guarding my time. And I was really, really rubbish at doing that. I literally wanted to, sometimes I can be a people pleaser. I don't like letting people down. I am very, very passionate about what I do, very passionate about my business. And I'm also passionate about helping other people succeed. And sometimes I can want it more for somebody else than they actually want it for themselves.
I think that's a lot of us who are people that want to lift up and encourage others, which is, the people that are in the health and wellness industry, we actually want to help people. Mm-hmm. That's definitely a quality. I've done that in my relationships. Yeah. I've had marriages where I wanted more for them what they even wanted for themselves. And I've stopped doing that. I hope, God, cross my fingers, right? And just generally in life, because you can bring a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. My father used to say to me, and it's
That's
true.
so true. Yeah,
it's true.
And you experience a lot of that in this industry.
You cannot force people to have the passion to go into the basement when they're not quite sure how to run the computer and make things happen and be uncomfortable while they're doing it. You can't force people to go through that discomfort. They have to really want to have consistency in their life and to create a different kind of future. So I would agree 100%. 100%. Because for you, what it is, it drains, it takes the energy that you have for the people that want the business away from them, because you're so busy chasing after the people that don't know what their passion is yet, which is perfectly
100%.
fine. It's perfectly fine. They don't know what their passion is yet, but they can't have their learning curve be at your expense.
Yeah. So I think that's honestly the number one takeaway from my experience is I got to say no.
You know what I do now? I've learned over the past couple of years is to have gatekeeper activities.
Okay. Tell me about that.
So what I do is if someone wants to partner with me on a referral basis, or if they want to partner on a project with me, I'll say, that's cool. I need you to do this, this, and this, and get it to me by this time on this day.
Yeah.
And when they don't do it, I say, I'm sorry. I think we should put off working together until a different time. Maybe you'll be more ready then. Because if they can't do 2-3 things by a certain time frame, I don't want to get I had a project that I put about 3,500 hours into. And I realized I had a series of the wrong partners with me, and I killed myself delivering the project. And they didn't even realize to the extent that I was killing myself, because it was off their radar. They didn't even realize that I wasn't sleeping for 3 months. You know what I mean? Because they weren't pulling their weight. So I've learned to create the activities that define, that draw out those behaviors I do not want to align myself with for 3,500 hours.
It's so funny that you talk about that as well, because another thing popped into my mind is, which has been a biggest lesson, is about mentorship. I've really learned the importance of mentorship.
100%.
Right. And so at the beginning of building this business, I had no mentorship. I had no idea what I was doing. I was literally just running off my energy and excitement, and was like, come and join me. Come and join me. This is the direction that we're going. And then it kind of got to a point where I was like, all right, I need some kind of system in place. I need some kind of mentorship. And so hence why I've created the HandBag Mafia, because we can often, time is very valuable, right? Like even Richard Branson says that time is the new money. And
100%.
Right. So instead of, it's like if I'm going to set up a new kind of system or new technology, I started using ManyChat within my business. There's no point in me sitting there for hours and hours and hours trying to figure it out. If I really just don't get it, I'm better off paying somebody else to do that. My time is more valuable doing what I'm good at doing. And that's another thing that I've learned as well. So having mentorship, having somebody put the path there for you that they've already run on, it's going to get you there 100% quicker. So that's another valuable
100%,
lesson as well.
Which is what HandBag Mafia is really about, which is mentoring people to be successful in the network marketing world.
Absolutely, 100%. Right? Because there's so many people out there that they don't have upline support. They are trying to figure things out for themselves. And one thing that I know is, because I know the success that I've been able to have in this profession and how much it has changed and impacted my life, and not just myself, but so many of my friends in the industry, so many of my friends in my team, my business partners within my company. And you can succeed at this if you're given the right tracks to run on, and you have mentorship, and you're part of a community. You can win. Everybody can win. And so that's what drove me to creating the HandBag Mafia, is being able to share my tips and my strategies and help women. Most people, Michelle, only want to earn an extra $1,000 a month to really make an impact. Like I have women who want to create that multiple six-figure income. But for the majority of women, it's $1,000 a month. It's that Kmart money. It's that want to be able to, be able to afford the healthy lifestyle, be able to afford that F45 or CrossFit gym membership that costs like $40 to $50 a week. most women can't afford that because they put their family or their finances first, and those kind of things kind of come last. So yeah, just showing women that you can be fit, you can feel your best, you can be healthy, and you can create an income as well, and do it in the pockets of your busy life, because that's exactly what I've done.
What I really love about, and the reason why I put you in the health and fitness category, is because you and I have alignment with a health and fitness product that really literally, in my opinion, saves lives. Now,
Yes.
we can't make that claim, okay, that if you take this, it's going to save your life. But what I mean by save lives, it's more than just a particular, like you take a medication and it like insulin and it keeps you alive. To me, saving a life means that you're taking care of yourself. Because
Yes.
earlier on, you were talking about how you were you were dealing with life on life's terms, and what was happening was your health was in the toilet.
Yes.
And so as a result, everything else goes in the toilet. So to me, the first thing you have to deal with is your health and your fitness and feeding your imagination so you can put the rest of it in place. Because if you haven't got those two things, you really don't, you don't have a platform to jump off of if your health is really not in the right spot. And if you're a health and fitness professional and you haven't got the right tools to give your clients to deal with the nutrition part of this thing, then you're
Yeah.
missing the boat by not having a good product alignment partner. So,
100%.
right. So the one of the relentless topic this week was about how life is in session. So I asked both you and Scott to tell me about a time when you've actually your entire story is basically that. You got kids and you got your health and you got stuff going on. Life's in session, right? And you got to
Yes.
just put one foot in front of the other and take care of your health and take care of your business and keep moving forward. So I just wanted to give you a second to talk about that idea that you can't put off success till your life's all situated.
Yeah, it's funny how you talk about that, because I just thought about when I went to to see Tony Robbins. Everybody knows, most people know who Tony Robbins is,
Right.
and he's going to help you get onto that road of success, remove any mental blocks, and does the magic that he does, right? But an important part of his 5-day course is all about health. It's all about health, getting your
Yeah.
eating right, because we are what we eat, and it's almost like we think our mind is based around our health as well. 100%.
Hmm.
Stress, depression, anxiety, what is the number one thing? If you google people tell you to do is go work out. Start eating properly and go work out. And how many people today are suffering with mental health? And when I talk about mental health, I talk about the stress, the anxiety, and the depression. So health is, you need to get your health on track first and foremost. And we need to also be, I think if you think about when you speak to or you've ever met a successful person in business as well, they should be the picture of good health. And I'm not talking about being shredded or anything like that, okay? Because that's not what everybody's goal is. And health is different to all different people. But yeah, I really 100% believe that you need to be a picture of good health to be able to succeed as well. And and as far as being a healthy mum, and I told you before how I was feeling. I was that unmotivated, I was exhausted, burnt out mum who was literally woman who was emotionally eating. And we can't be 100% for our husbands or for our partners or for our children or for anyone in business if we're not 100% there for ourselves first. And I'm a big believer in that as well.
And I think that, we can make a lot of excuses why we're not eating right. And, I mean, my dad is in hospice and people are showing up with some really yummy stuff. And I have to admit, I've had a couple bites of it to be polite. Right. But, I could live on banana bread right now. There's a really lovely banana bread upstairs. I could live on cannolis and pizza, and there's always a reason to put the life circumstances in front of your health and your well-being. But if you keep on doing that, you're always going to be unwell.
Yeah. You
And
literally get into that spiral, and then that spiral kind of stays out of control. And honestly, like For me, it's my workouts. It's my HIIT training. I love getting up and doing my HIIT training every day. Well, 5 days a week.
That's awesome.
It keeps me on track. It fires me up for the day.
And that's awesome. So you have great nutrition and you're moving. There's just nothing better than that. So before we close, I just want to give you a second to tell us why you do what you do, because you could have chosen any other line of products to support. You could have, you're a bright girl. You could have gone and worked for corporate America. Why did you choose the health and fitness industry? And why do you choose to support folks who are in the health and fitness industry?
Honestly, it comes back to how I was feeling before I got started in my health journey. And health to me, health is wealth. Pretty much to me, health is wealth. And I've seen so many lives impacted with our particular product line as well. I've seen the journeys. I've seen people lose, that 5 pounds, that 50 pounds, 100 pounds, 200 pounds. And I've seen lives saved as well.
Right.
I honestly have. The stories, the transformation stories. I mean, one of our mutual friends, Kenya, from Utah.
487 pounds.
That literally saved her life. And she is just a
crazy,
vibrant ball of amazing energy. And imagine what she was like before. So, when it comes to health and wellness, people get an emotional attachment, and you literally see the life come back in their eyes, and you can't turn away once you've seen that. And so now I want to be able to impact lives on a much larger scale. We're in a global health crisis right now. We're in a global health crisis.
We really are. And I think what happens for folks like us is that we're addicted to the rush you get when you watch that light come back on in somebody's eyes, whether it's they're making the income they need to make, or they are able to, they get that aha moment where they figure out what they feel passionate about, whatever it is, or you make a connection with another human being and you realize that there's some humanness between you that creates a spark that wouldn't have been there otherwise had you not met them. People like us are actually addicted to watching, and I think it's a healthy addiction to watching people, find who they really are and become it. It's a wonderful thing to do. But so, how do people find you? Talking about finding you, do they go to? Sure. How do people, if people want to work with you as a mentor with HandBag Mafia, or they'd like to work with you as a health and fitness coach, or just wondering what the heck you're talking about, I'm a little curious, they want to get to know you better, how do they get a hold of you?
Absolutely. So the HandBag Mafia is my page, and then I can add you into my private Facebook community group. And then also Samantha Utupa is my personal page, and you can get me through that page as well.
That's awesome. So it's UTUPO. So as I've said that about 100 times in my head as I was typing it out. So UTUPO. I love it.
Yeah.
So Samantha, I'm looking forward to seeing you at a conference at some point. I'm sure that we'll have an opportunity to do that. So I'm really looking for, and when I do, I'm going to give you a big hug, because I think that you're really a great example of, of the industry, of the network marketing industry, and of what health and fitness really does for somebody, and how you're giving back in a really significant way and doing it in a very courageous way. So I really appreciate you coming on. What time is it there, by the way?
It is 8:15. So I've got the kids, they're all dressed ready for school, 8:15 in the morning. They're locked away in their bedrooms. So we'll be doing a school run after this.
I know, I've got everybody up in beside my dad's bed being very quiet right now. That's so funny because they're right above me. Life is in session. We just do what we have to do. Thank you so much, Samantha. Have a good day, and tell the kids to enjoy school today, and give your husband a big hug for me too.
Amazing. Thanks so much for having me on, Michelle.
Take care.
Bye.
All right, guys, I'm going to go get Scott and sign on in a couple more minutes, and we're going to talk with him about his new company, Reliable Appliance. Oh my gosh. I should have written notes down before I started, but I'm going to sign back in with Scott Marine, and Dependable Appliance Repair. There you go. So go ahead and log out of here, and I'll be right back. Take care.